Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. But today, I'm not going to help you get your ex back. I am going to help the women to not lose someone that they are dating, because the topic is 10 things never to say to a guy. Some of these are things you should not say to a guy that you are dating but not in a relationship with. Some apply to a guy that you're in a relationship with, and one, maybe more, applies to all guys, even if you're married to them. Now, there are hundreds of things that you should not say to guys, just as there are hundreds of things that guys should not say to women, but I only picked 10. And make sure you stay till the end, because the last one is the most important one. So, before I start, I just want to remind you to be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And while you're at it, tap the bell icon so you'll be notified when a new video is up. Okay, so let's get started. These aren't in any particular order. The first one is, why didn't you call, or why didn't you text? So, if a guy says, okay, I'll call you later, I'll call you tomorrow, I'll shoot you a text later, and they don't, there's only one answer to that question. And that answer is because he didn't want to. Okay? What you're really asking is, why didn't you want to call? Or why didn't you want to text? Why didn't you keep your word? That's what you're really asking. And there could be a lot of reasons for this. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he was busy with someone else who has his interest. Maybe he's playing games. And I don't mean video games. I mean, it could be video games, but he's playing games in the sense that he tells you he's going to call or text, but then he doesn't, because he wants to see if you're going to freak out. He's testing you, even without knowing it, possibly. So don't fall for it. Whatever the reason, if he doesn't want to tell you the truth, he's just going to lie. So there's no point in asking, well, why didn't you call? Why didn't you text? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. Oh, it's totally slipped my mind. So what you're really trying to find out, his interest level. But don't look at any one incident at any one time. Look for a pattern. So if he constantly does this, then it's most likely low interest. But by asking, why didn't you call? Why didn't you text? You look like low value. This is if you're dating. Obviously, if you're in a relationship, yeah. But if you're dating, you're not exclusive, then there's no need to ask that. Number 2, what are we / where is this going? Obviously, this is before you're in a committed relationship. And my answer to that is, you're going nowhere fast if that's your attitude. Because you have to keep in mind, in the beginning, guys want someone who's fast and easy to be with, not someone who's constantly worried about the future and where's this going? What's going on? What are we? Women do tend to be further along emotionally than men. They get there faster when they're dating. They get attached sooner. They're ready to be exclusive sooner. And so you'll probably want exclusivity faster before the guy is ready. But as I've said before, it's your job to raise their interest level. And when they have a high interest level, they will automatically want you to be the only one. You won't have to wonder where it's going. You won't have to ask. True connections happen naturally. They can't be forced. So you can't force it by saying, what are we? Where is this going? He may not know where it's going. He may not know where you are or what you are. So the thing to keep in mind with this is, if he's interested, you'll know it. If he's not, you'll be confused. So if you have to ask what you are, then you're probably just dating. You're not really anything at that moment. Okay? Number 3, when will I see you again? When will I see you again? You may have heard that song, some of you. Or asking him out. So either saying, when will I see you again? Or, I want to go out with you. Like a guy that you have not gone out with before. And I say to you, well, you'll see him when you're seeing him. By making the move, you are being masculine energy when you ask him out or asking, when will I see you again? Now, I get a lot of pushback on this, and I'm sure I'll get some of this in the comments, and the comments are always, well, it's the 21st century. Things have changed. Women can ask guys out. Well, not everything has changed. DNA hasn't changed. Biology hasn't changed. Mating psychology hasn't changed. Have you ever seen a deer chase a hunter? Have you ever heard of an egg going to the sperm? No. Hunters chase deer, sperms chase eggs, and men chase women if they're interested. Now, guys will say that they don't mind being asked out. Well, of course not. Why would they mind? You're making it so easy for them. But put yourself in their shoes. Imagine that it was women who had to be doing the asking out of men. Pretend everything was backwards. It's backwards day. So usually if it was us women that had to ask guys out, would you mind if guys made the move and asked you out? No, of course not. But it doesn't mean it's effective in the long run. It doesn't mean that they're going to have a high interest level in you. It doesn't mean that you will be their dream girl. And if anything, they'll wonder why you're making a move, since most women don't. They'll wonder if there's something you're hiding. Maybe you're secretly crazy, or maybe you're hard to get along with. Maybe you're desperate. It's just not a good look. So I don't care what anyone else is saying about, yeah, girl power, you go ahead, you make the first move. Don't get fooled into asking a guy out. At most, you can talk about an event that you're going to with friends. Oh, hey, me and my friends, we're going to this place or that place on Friday. You should join us. Something like that, yes, but not asking out on a one-on-one date. Or, you can throw it out there that there's a place that you like, that you've been wanting to go to, and see if he catches on, if he gets the hint, if he gets a clue and goes, oh, well, we should go there together. So you can hint around, but asking directly, no. The next one, number 4, is saying I love you first. Now, the reason for this, again, some of the reasons are similar to number 3. Of course, they're not going to mind if you say it first, but again, they'll wonder why you're saying it first. Guys go slower. If he hasn't said it, then he's probably not ready to say it. Maybe he's showing you. Guys prefer to show rather than tell. What is his love language? So don't always be expecting him to say it right away if he feels it. But you, in the meantime, you're saying it in the hopes that he'll say it back. But what if he doesn't? You'll be devastated and maybe feel foolish. And saying I love you is not going to speed things up if he's not ready to say it back. And he may even possibly back up because he's not in love and he doesn't want to feel pressured, or he doesn't want to lead you on. So cool it and let him be the first to say it when he's ready. And by the way, if he says it during sex, it doesn't count. Haha. Okay, number 5. We need to talk. Yeah, sure, you never said that before. So I say to you, why do you have to announce it? That's the same as saying, go to the principal's office. Guys know it's not going to be a fun conversation, so they're already on the defense or defensive. If you need to discuss something important, then you simply say, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. When would be a good time to talk? That way you're being respectful of him and his time, and he will be more open to talking. And also keep in mind, don't talk to him when he's tired, stressed, or watching TV. Okay, number 6, I don't trust you. Now, obviously, if you've caught him cheating or lying, okay, yes. He knows you're not going to trust him. You can say it then. But that's not what I'm referring to here. It's when you say it because you have trauma from the past event and you're easily suspicious, and everything that anyone does, anyone that you date, you automatically think they're up to something. So why does the guy you're dating now have to pay for the sins of your previous dates or boyfriend? you can't have a serious relationship without trust. And also, if you really do think that he's up to something, then you're telling him to step up his game because you can see that he's up to something. And so if he is up to something, then he'll become even sneakier. It's like the FBI doesn't announce to people that they have them under surveillance, like, hey, we just want to let you know we're going to be watching you. They watch someone until they have evidence that that person is up to something or not up to something. So there's no point in announcing that you don't trust someone. It's not going to gain you anything. Number 7, why can't you be more like ... And usually this is another guy, why can't you be more like my best friend's boyfriend, my father, this, that. Comparing him to another guy makes him feel bad. It feels like he can't win with you. And if men feel they can't win with a woman, then after a while they just prefer to move on to a woman they think they can win with. Guys often cite that one of the reasons that they want to marry a particular woman is because he could be himself and she accepted him as he was. This is very important to guys. They want to be able to be themselves and they want to be accepted for who they are without having to change unless they want to. So comparing him to another guy shows that you don't accept him as he is. Number 8, I'm fine. When you look upset and the guy asks you, is everything okay? You're like, I'm fine. Now, guys, they know by now that I'm fine means I am not fine. And you better figure out why I'm not fine or work to pull it out of me. Now, you can't have a great relationship without communication. So if you're not fine and you don't want to talk about it at that moment when he asks, you can say something like, well, I'm not very happy with you right now, or I'm very upset with you right now, I'm very angry with you right now, I'm very disappointed with you right now. But I don't want to talk about it at the moment. So at least you've communicated something. It's better than just saying, I'm fine. And then you can take the time to think about what you want to say to him and have that talk when you're ready. But don't just say, I'm fine. Number 9, my ex always or my ex never ... Now, this is similar to number 7 about when you're comparing him, except that now you're bringing your ex into it. And you probably know that you shouldn't be talking about your ex. The only time you really should mention your ex is if the guy you're dating asks, hey, when was your last breakup? What was the reason for the breakup? Etc., etc. You give them that information. Usually people want to know. And after that, you never bring it up again. Nobody wants to be compared to someone else, especially an ex, and especially if they come up short in the comparison. That's even worse. So a smart guy, if you say, oh, well, my ex always did this, or my ex never did this or never said this, then a smart guy is going to say, yes, but you're not with your ex anymore. So even if he always did so-and-so or never said so-and-so, that obviously wasn't enough to keep the relationship going. Or he may just say, well, then maybe you should get back with your ex. All right, number 10. This is the most important one, so listen up. Number 10, and that is, oh, here, let me do it, or some version thereof. And this could be something as simple as, they're loading the dishwasher incorrectly. Anything that makes it seem like they're incompetent. And so it's like, oh, let me do it. And this is wrong on so many levels, I don't even know where to begin. First of all, you are emasculating him. Men want to feel powerful. They want to be your hero. Yes, they do, in case you didn't know that. And when I first heard that, I was like, really? I didn't know that, because as women, we're not thinking, oh, I want to be my man's hero. No, but they want to be your hero. So when you have to take over something that they were doing, they don't feel like your hero. You're saying that they're not capable, and that's why you have to take over. And I saw an example of this years ago on the Real Housewives of Orange County, for those of you who are fans, when Shannon Bedore first came on the show. And it's probably still online somewhere, maybe it's on Hulu, where you can look up this episode. It's the first season that Shannon Bedore was on a few years ago, and it was when she was having a dinner party at her home, and she was in the kitchen preparing everything, and her husband was in there. And the way she was talking to him, I was like, yikes. Ooh. You got to see that episode. She was treating him like he was a baby. And this guy's a very competent guy, very successful, very good looking. And the way she was talking to him, I was like, yikes. And of course, I wasn't surprised when it then came out that he was having an affair. They managed to get over that, but then he asked for a divorce, and they are now divorced. And that's what happens. You can't treat a guy like this. You can't emasculate a guy and expect him to stick around. Or if he does stick around, he's going to be cheating. So you want to build him up, not tear him down or disrespect him and suggest that he's incompetent in many ways. And a lot of times women are disrespecting guys and they don't even know it. So that's why it's good if you're not sure what the problem is with your husband. This happens a lot in marriage, or even a guy you're dating or in a relationship with. If you're not sure what's going on, they're pulling away. It could be that this is what you're doing. But if you want to know for sure, you can always book a coaching session with me. So I actually have one more, number 11. And that is never say to a guy, is it in? Haha. I'm sure you already knew that, but just in case. If you have to ask, then it probably isn't in, but maybe it is. Who knows? Anyways. All right. So if you would like my help personally to help with your relationship, or even to get an ex back, since that's what I specialize in, then you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. The direct link is below. If you're listening on iTunes and you found this helpful, remember to like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.